Hello everybody, it's Jim the Gentleman Crafter, and tonight I wanted to create a little card. It's just a card, it's a belly band card like everybody does. But I'm going to do my little twist on it because I have to make it out of chipboard because it's got to be made out of chipboard, right? So tonight I'm using Graphic 45's Botanicabella. I'm going to use a little bit of Garden Sweet. I'm going to make my main back covers Antiquity. I'm using a little piece of black heavyweight cardstock to make my structure strips. And I'm going to use a little bit of this to cover my little belly band deal. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my chipboard pieces cut. I'm going to use, this is, they say it's medium weight. So medium weight black chipboard. And they're 5x7s. I'm almost positive they are. 5x7. Yes, 5x7. And my two belly bands, which are going to be 1.5 by 5, also cut out chipboard. And then I have my little buckle, my little round buckle. If you trace around something round, then take a X-Acto knife or something and cut out the center. Same thing there. There it is. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so I'm fixing to put this together. Let's see what we could do. I need to make a thank you card, so that's what I'm really needing to do. So my hands are dirty. I need to cut, I'm going to cut 2 at 5x7 real quick. Oops. Okay, 5. I maybe get just a dash less. Just a dash left. I love to have that little black border. In fact, excuse me, I'm going to make it 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. I'm going to do the back cover the same way. So, let's see. Where was the paper going this way? 4 7/8. By 6 7/8. Alright, so that's my back cover. And then for my belly bands, I'm going to use this. And what did I say it was? It's going to be 1.5, right? For those, I'm going to be pretty much right on. So I'm going to make it right 1.5. These can be a little bit less. By 4 7/8. So I'm going to go 1.5. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off a little of that extra cream border down here at the bottom of the page so I get more of the lettering. So, okay, so I'm going 1.5 by 4 7/8. And the same thing here. 2 of those. Okay, I've got my papers ready to go. I've got my paper already cut for my belly band because I didn't want to take your time. And now I'm going to go for structure strips. So for the first structure strip, I'm going to make it 1 1/8. Let's do 1 1/8. And then let's do at 1 at 1 1/4. Okay, that's my black paper. So now I'm going to get my scoreboard out real quick. I'm going to score the 1 1/4 at 1/2 inch on each side. And I think it's just easier just to flip it. So 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, so that one's scored and ready to go. I'm going to do the 1 1/8. I'm going to do the same thing, 1/2 inch on each side. So 4. Okay, then I'm done with that. Get that out of the way. So now I'm going to grab some score tape. I'm going to use 3/8 inch score tape here. Let's see. That one. I love score tape. So I've got this. Bumps up. Okay. So I'm putting score tape on each side of the score line, leaving the 1/4 inch for this one in the middle alone. Same thing for this. I'm gonna just put it on each side of the score lines, bumps up, and right to the edge and over. And the other side. Actually, this was the 1/4 inch. That was the 1/8. Okay. Now I get to cover the papers, the cards. I've got all my pieces ready. Got my 2 structure strips. The 1/4 inch is going to go on the edge of the card. Actually, the edge of the belly band, the band part. And the 1/8 inch piece is going to go on the edge of the card to kind of act as a hinge. Okay? So I'm going to let's see if I can find my black pen. And what I do is I just use a black Copic marker. If you are a big distresser, distress it. I am sometimes. But when I want to do something quick, I just like to get rid of that white core with a black pen. And if you do it from the opposite side that you're going to do it, because just like there, I came off of it real quick, you won't get it on the part you want. So again, I'm just marking it on the edge, on the back side of what I'm going to use. Just getting rid of that white core in the paper. And then I can add adhesive to the back side and adhere it to the chipboard pieces. I still need to do the inside pieces, but I think I'm going to do that with some lighter paper later. But if I could just give you all an idea of how to make the card from chipboard with the belly band, that would be great. Okay, there we go. Oops, I'm going to do the inside. Okay, those are done. Alright, now to assemble the card. I'm going to run these through my Xyron. I love Xyron products. I've got the big Creatopia off screen over here. And it's about time for replacement. Because I have used it and abused it. I love this thing. That's ready to go. I'm going to put these through next. I'm going to grab another Teflon tool. It's a pokey tool, which I love. I have 2 or 3 of them in my drawer because they come in so handy all the time. But they work perfectly with the Xyron film about going around the plastic. Because if you use a regular bone folder, it would rip the plastic up. And the reason why I'm doing that is it sets the glue. The glue comes out over it. Glue's underneath it, right? And you stick the piece to it, but it'll come up around it. So this kind of stops the glue or the adhesive from popping up around the piece. Did I do that center part? I can't remember. I'm going to do that again. So I just go around all the edges, and that sets the glue right down, or the adhesive right down back onto the sheet, and not the paper. That way I have less adhesive balls hanging out from the side, really, I guess is what you could call it. Okay, so I'm going to take one of my papers. You know what I'm going to do first? Sorry, that's not right. I'm going to take my 1/8 inch structure strip. What I mean by 1/8 inch, it's 1 1/8, and I scored it on each side at 1/2 inch, so I've got an 1/8 inch in the middle left over. I'm going to cut that down to 7 inches. I'm glad I caught that. But the good thing about adhesive, or score tape, or adhesive, not glue, is that you could heat it up. You could heat it with a heat gun and pull it back up. So that's awesome. Plus score tape is just, I mean, it's just the best, I think. It holds strong, it's a strong hold. But again, you could heat it up if you had to. So I'm going to pull off one of these sides. And I'm going to adhere this to the top, right to the bump. So there's 2 bumps caused by the score line, okay? And you want to put it right up to that bump, not on it, but right up to it. So right there and right here, and if I can get a shake, I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. Again, I don't know exactly how to focus that really well, but you can kind of see I went up right up to the bump-ish. Bump would have been right there. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Pull the tape backing. Put this one down to the bump and try to angle it. I mean, actually, let me do it this way. I'm just going to do it this way. There we go. That was easy. It's pretty lined up. Okay, so there's my card basically, right? And the left got that 1/8 inch gap there. I'm going to cover that with paper. I won't cover the gap, but I'm going to cover the inside with paper later. But right now we're just going to do the outsides. So I've got my card piece. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to have to stand up over it because that's the only way I can do it. Just want to leave a little bit of a border all the way around, right? That's good. Okay, and turn it and do the back side. Love that seahorse, so cute. Make sure they match, they do. Again, leaving about 1/8. Well, it's almost like a 1/16th, but let's just say it's just a little bit around. That was really high right there. It's a little bit shorter piece. Okay, so then next for the belly band, I'm going to take my 2 papers that I did earlier. And I went around them already, yep. Get my belly bands ready. Oh, you know what? Again, we really need to do this first. So it's covered up. Sorry about that. So we're going to cut 1.5 inches twice. So I'll have the strip for some more cards later. So 1.5. And 1.5. Okay, I'm going to put that in my jug so I can have that for more cards at a future time. Okay. I haven't made this card since actually last year. And I made it out of artisan style. But the person who this is going to will probably love this collection, which is Botanicabella. I think I already said that. So I'm going to put this right up here, right to the edge. Okay, leaving that 1/4 inch gap open. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay. I'm going to do this side. Pull off the tape backing. I think my knife is about ready for a new blade. It doesn't have a tip on it anymore, and it's hard to get this up, and my fingernails are not very good with this stuff, but I'm going to try it anyway. There we go. Okay. Right up to the fold. Other side, right up to the bump. There we go. So that's my belly band, right? I know it's going to fit over my card if you use my measurements, right? So now I'm going to take a piece of pattern paper and cover up most of it. I'm going to leave a little 1/8 inch on each side. I just took off my glasses, which was not a very smart thing to do. Put it back on, sit down for a second, relax, chill. You know what? Oh, did y'all see the mug my niece gave me from Christmas? I love it. Slobber. Alright, so one last thing is I'm going to open up some Graphic 45 Hardwell. This is the antique brass door knocker. I'm not going to use a screw. I'm just going to use the head, the lion's head. And I think for this I am going to put a little white around the edges. Just around that rim of the lion's head. I'm going to put some on that little round doobie right there. Okay, and I'm going to put this down, centered, kind of. I'm just don't want my ring to go too far. Like that. So, like that. And that's my quick thank you card. Of course, I'll put a little ecru on the inside and write my note and send it off. And, you know, this isn't one of those cards that you just, you know, send in the mail and it's going to be like, you know, but what you spend on a card these days and put postage on it, you know what I mean? I can send this card in a padded envelope and post it for the same amount of money with things I had around the house. So anyway, that's my card. Hope you like it. Have a good one. Bye.